let's see, what's on this list? Okay, check distributor. You know, I've taken care of that. I can rope that off now.
So you're making room on the to-do list. Does that mean that I can add something?
Sure you can. What you got in mind?
Oh, a lot of stuff.
I was afraid of that. Hi, I'm Russ. I'm rebuilding a 1977 Mobile Traveler motorhome. This is all about the MT and me. Well, I got to the Jeep stuff and the marker quit working, so I guess we'll have to stop there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're doing.
It says Jeep. Jeep. Anyway, this week on the MT and Me, it's all about lists again. So, we've done a few modifications here on the to-do list. I took off the distributor because that's what I got done last time. But we've replaced it with a few things. For example, we put repair the ceiling on, which is still a priority because it's still leaking in here and we need to get rid of that.
Yeah, the jack fell over.
Exactly, yeah. So, finish replacing the walls because we need walls. And on a broader scope, I've added water system and electrical system. Now that's the systems for back here, the living area. We're not talking about the motor in this case. We've got to figure out a way to store and distribute water here in our living space, and also electricity, both 12 volt and 110. So all that's got to be worked out. And then of course, Jeep. We're still working on Jeep conversion, so that's on the list too. Now, since we have added to the to-do list, we've added to the purchase list. So, let's see, we were down to battery cables right here. We've added 1/8" plywood, that's for the walls. Tight Bond 2, which is what we use, and also drop cloths, which is what we use for the poor man's fiberglass.
Oh, we need to add exterior house paint too.
Oh, okay. I'll write that in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll go with all this. This is all for the poor man's fiberglass, which is what we're currently planning on doing. The outside walls, and I don't know, maybe the inside walls, but we'll wait and see. Some not half inch, but 1 inch square steel tubing. In case you haven't noticed, that's what the entire ceiling is framed in. So, and since we have some spots that need replacing, well, we're going to get some more and sister it in or replace it in some way. So, get some tubing. Butyl tape, because this is what you use in RVs to seal everything. Windows, vents, doors, cracks, whatever you add to an RV that involves a hole.
Anyone who needs to buy us a gift for the next 2 years. Butyl tape.
Butyl tape is a wonderful gift. You can't have too much of the stuff when you own a recreational vehicle.
And drive from state to state.
And drive with no papers.
Oh no, we'll have papers.
Papers. Russ converter, because I haven't quite finished converting the rust. Some PVC pipe for the water system. We are looking at maybe using some PVC for actual water storage as a water tank. And then of course we will have to plumb the system that will require PVC as well.
Right. And we're looking at going underneath with it instead of having it inside.
Exactly. So we still have the water pump that was in Pearl, and I have not plugged it in to test it, but it looks like it's in good shape, so we'll find out later. And roof sealant. We went ahead and put that on the list because here again, waterproofing is one of our... We can't do anything to the interior until we stop the leaking. So, we've added to the purchase list, we've added to the to-do list. You know what? With the economy the way it is, I'm simply going to have to work on some stuff that doesn't cost much, if any, money at all. However, if you want to help out with that purchase list, you can always buy me a coffee. There's a link below. You can do just that, and we guarantee the money will go to purchasing some of this stuff we need to get Pearl ready and back on the road.
Yeah. Or you can buy it yourself and have it shipped to us.
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks, Glenn.
Thanks a lot, Glenn. That's right. We ain't too proud.
No, we used to be. Not no more.
Not anymore. Not anymore. What we are is getting very hot and sweaty. This is another heat advisory day. Our heat index values here in the Mid-South are getting upwards of 110 degrees and more, which means we're going to do as little as we can outside. We are going to get started right now. I think if we'll get out of Pearl, it'll be a little cooler. Maybe we can go do some of that stuff you want to accomplish on the Jeep today.
That sounds like an excellent idea.
And work on that, get that mattress cut to fit.
Yes, and another thing that I would like for you to think about at least is coming up with a shade idea. Last year you had a heat stroke on us and scared me half to death. Don't do that again this year. We're going to think ahead. We're going to be prepared. We're going to be good Boy Scouts, useful little engines, and all of that good stuff. And we're going to come up with shade.
We'll see what we can come up with.
Yeah. I have a concept.
That's a scary thought.
I know.
I'm terrified. Trembling
You
in,
should be. I mean,
trembling in
seriously.
hiking boots. Yeah.
Seriously.
So anyway, let's go see what we can do with the Jeep.
All right. That's a cool trick. You're trembling in your hiking boots, but you're wearing your tennis shoes. Ooh.
Yeah. It's a thing.
It is a thing. It's really hot in here.
Yes, it is.
Let's go.
Okay, so we flipped the foam off the top to flip it over and move it, and we uncovered an entire nest of giant black ants.
Which are technically a wasp.
Well, they are freaking out because we upset their happy home, and they've got eggs all over the place here. They're right in front of you. It's a big pile.
Yeah.
And they are trying to figure out what to do. And they obviously are having a little bit of trouble running fast on this, the inside surface of this
Batting.
batting, yeah. Of course, there's just as many here on the...
They're freaking out, but you notice they're not inside the foam.
No, they're not inside the foam.
They were in the space between the foam and the cover.
And here's one arachnid that they're just ignoring, the little daddy longlegs right here.
And this nest was not in it whenever we moved it. So this is, it's been out here for what, a week and a half now?
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so, about a week and a half. Man, nature is so cool. I'm watching them. They'll pick up an egg and they'll kind of run around like they don't know what to do with it, and then they'll just put it back down.
Because they don't quite know what to do with it.
It's like, all right, where am I going? I don't know.
All right, stop. You're going to get them on you.
Well, most of them I think have gone, but there's still plenty on here. So we couldn't hose them off. They're resistant to water. So we're going to let the ant wasp thingies here just evacuate on their own. And while we're waiting on that, so that we can come back and do something with the foam, we're going to sit down, put our heads together, and see if we can come up with some sort of movable shade that we can use to do work on the MT during this extreme heat.
Or maybe shade we don't have to move.
Maybe.
That would be nice.
Just have to see what we can come up with.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go and find a cool spot to think about it.
Yes.
It's hot.
Yes.
All right, it's another day ready to slave away again here in Pearl. Now, when we last left you, Ree and I were discussing building some sort of shade to protect us from this hot summer sun while we're working on Pearl. Well, we haven't done that yet. So today, I want to get a little work done, so I'm basically out here at 9 o'clock in the morning before it gets ridiculously hot It's only, and I say only, about 78 degrees right now. It'll be 80 in a little bit, and after that it's really going to start shooting up there as far as the temperature and the heat index go. So I'm going to try to get out here and do my work nice and early before that sun really becomes a problem, and then we'll get focused on maybe having some additional shade made for the next round of work outside here on our beautiful 1977 motorhome. But anyway, going back to the trusty to-do list that we've been working on, I think the next thing is going to be check the starter to see if it's in any kind of operational shape. In order to do that, we've got to get it off. So here we are underneath looking at Pearl's starter. Right here. Okay, first of all, there are only 2 bolts holding this starter on. There's one of them right here. You can't see it for this transmission line, but it's right here on the bottom. There is another one in the very same place on the top. This bottom one I can get to pretty easily. Oddly enough, on the top one, maybe a little bit of a problem. We'll just have to wait and see about that. The only other things are the electrical connections. There are 2 of those. 2 wires that attach right here. So we get those off, and we get these bolts out, and the starter should pull right off. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Probably is not going to be, but hey, we'll be optimistic at this point. Fingers crossed. So, our first step is getting the electrical connections off. And there are 2 of them, 2 wires. One of them has a 15mm nut on them. Not so bad. The other, it's like an 11/32. Why in the world someone picks these weird denominations of nut sizes? I don't know. I guess there's one way to ensure you have to go to the dealer, right? Well, I'm trying to avoid that. So let's see if we can get this off of here. This little one's actually stubborn, and I don't have much room to maneuver. Success! We got the 11/32 off. Now let's go for the big one. And there's that one. So our wires should pull free. And there they are. That just leaves the 2 mounting bolts on the starter. The one on the bottom and one on the top. Let's try the bottom one first. The mounting bolts appear to be 5/8. They're also on very tightly. Finally got the bottom one broken loose. Okay, so I've run into an interesting problem here. I backed the nut all the way off, and in the process I actually jammed my socket wrench against the starter casing. So I'm having to put the nut back on so that I can get the wrench off, and then maybe I can get the nut off. Well, I got the wrench. Now, can I get the nut back off? I think it's finger loose and I can do this. The way this starter is made, there's a pin and nut on the bottom. That nut's what I'm taking off right now, off the post. On the top, it's an actual bolt that goes into the bell housing on the transmission. That way you can line your starter up quite easily. Well, I may have that backwards. This appears to be the bolt I'm taking out here. And it is out. It is indeed a bolt, which explains why it was jamming my wrench up against the starter housing. Okay, so the bottom's out. I think to get to the top one, we're going to have to go back inside the MT and work down through the floorboard, because I can reach it from here and touch it, but there's really no way I can see what I'm doing to get a wrench up there to it. So let's go topside and see what things look like there. Okay, boys and girls, we're back topside. There's the starter, and there's the bolt right there. Is this even going to go on it? Okay, the wrench fits. Problem here is going to be getting leverage, because you can see I don't have very much room to work at all. Like I said, it's all about leverage, or the lack of it. Hey, it moved. I want to be very careful this time that I don't lock my wrench in place. Let me try to explain the situation here. If I get the starter off, I'll be able to show you, but the way the starter housing is designed, there's a little indentation where these bolts on top and bottom that hold the starter in place go. And so as you back the bolt out, you're moving toward the back of that indentation, and when your wrench gets so far, you don't have room to maneuver it off the head of the bolt and get it free. It's an ingenious way, sinister way to design your product so that it requires some sort of special tool. You know. But here at the MT&Me, we specialize in getting around the need for special tools. It doesn't always work, but we try. And it occurs to me, it was probably not wise to take the bottom one off, because after this bolt, as this bolt comes out, I have nothing holding the starter on. So you know what? I think I'm going to go put that bolt back in the bottom just to hold it in place to get the top one out. And then we'll go back underneath and pull the bottom one out where we can support the weight of the starter. See, a mechanic would have known that first thing. Me, I have to figure it out the hard way. But I don't want my starter falling off. So let's go put that bottom bolt back in and then see what we can do. Okay, I went back underneath Pearl and I reinstalled that bottom support bolt. Well, at least about half, 3/4 of the way in. It's not completely in. I also reconnected the starter cable, the wire that comes from the battery and goes to the starter. It's a very heavy cable. Just in case I need to let it kind of fall to one side or hang free. That'll keep it from just flopping around, because there's enough tension there. And the wire's heavy enough that it can support the weight as long as that bottom support bolt is still in there. So I think we're ready to try and finish getting this top bolt out. At least I think so. I'm running into that same situation where I'm jamming my socket wrench. So we're going to have to use something else to finish getting this bolt out. looky there. The top bolt is out. And the starter did not fall, which is a good thing. Okay, we got the starter off. Now we just have to get it out of here. Disconnect that wire that I put back on it. And voila! Pearl's starter. Whew. That was a chore. Okay.
Hello. I stole your camera.
Oh. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I came out to check the to-do list real quick, and I grabbed the camera.
Well, good. Then you can hold it while I show them that the starter is in pretty darn good shape. The, hang on, this thing weighs about 20 or 30 pounds, so I can't just throw it around.
Ooh,
The
cool.
Bendix seems to still work like it should.
Let me show that a little better here.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
Okay. It's making clicky noises. That's always a good thing with a starter.
well, as long as the solenoid works, then it'll pop that out whenever the motor starts, and
If
that'll
it
start.
doesn't make that sound, that's a bad thing, right?
That's a bad thing, yeah.
Yeah.
The motor, well, there's no way to tell about it until I actually put power to it. But nothing's rattling inside. That's good. There's no shaking. It hasn't been hit or beaten up. The case isn't cracked because it's a cast housing. It all looks good. I mean, sure it's dirty, but it looks good.
All right. So it has not been abused.
It's not been abused. I do want to show you what I was talking about earlier, the problem I had with the bolts coming in. So you put your socket on the bolt, and as you back the bolt out, you reach a point right here where there's just a
Move
few
your
threads,
pinky.
just a few
There you go.
threads left,
You and your pink pinky.
but you can't. With that held firmly, you can't get your wrench off, and you can't get it out of there. So I had to screw it back in to get the wrench off, and then take fingers to finish getting it out. Same thing on the other side. It's not as extreme, but there is a little bump right there, and it's just enough to catch that wrench and jam it to where you can't get it off. So that's what I was talking about earlier when I said, you know, I'm sure that they designed a very special tool that the mechanics all have who service Dodge vehicles to handle that. But like I say, here at the MT&E, we specialize in dodging around the need for special tools. And this time, it worked. Doesn't always, but this time it did work. So anyway.
I got a feeling they probably do it the exact same way
They
you did.
probably do, but you know, it makes for a good tall tale anyway.
Yeah.
Good conversation. And I'll test the starter later. But something else we do need to do while we're out here is look at your mattress.
Yeah, I'm gonna skin the egg crate off of it.
All right.
Get down to the phone.
Okay. You made some reference to my pink fingernail.
Yes,
yeah.
I think we have reached the point where we can get rid of our pink fingernails.
This is our little memorial
So,
tribute. That's
hang
what
on,
we
let
have
me
going on.
see if I can
Can you get yours?
show. Yeah, see,
Okay.
I have a pink fingernail too, but mine's pretty much worn off because that's why I don't wear nail polish.
Yeah, okay.
I wear it off.
I don't wear it often either, but for this case I did. I've been wearing this for a couple of weeks now, and I don't know, I sort of like it. I may keep it for a while. So
Why don't you change colors? I mean, okay, first of all, explain why you have a pink fingernail in the first place.
okay, this, as I said, is our personal memorial tribute to our brother Thomas. He was an iron worker and a construction worker, and always a man with tools. Pink was his color. He would paint his tools pink because, as he put it, no other self-respecting worker would steal a pink wrench or a pink hammer or something. So by painting them pink, one, he ensured they wouldn't be stolen, and two, he could identify his tools on a glance at a second's notice. So pink became Thomas's color. Big pink bandanas, pink hats, stuff like that. And so we're wearing pink fingernails as a tribute to him.
We have a pink pinky.
A pink pinky, exactly.
Yeah.
A pink pinky in memory and in tribute to him. So kind of our, instead of wearing black for mourning, we're wearing pink. I like it. I like that. So anyway, we're wearing pink. And as for changing it, I don't know. I can't justify another color.
You mean other than the fact that you just like having a colored nail? I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Penn Jillette has a black one, if you ever notice. He has for years. And
Yes, and
I've heard him explain why, but I don't remember now what it is. But he
and
has an
you know what?
explanation for it.
Because I want one is a really good reason.
Well, right now I want a pink one, so I'm going to keep mine for a little longer.
All right.
So,
Well, the polish is in there on the desk if you want to touch it up.
very good.
Okay.
Very good. All right. What do you say we go look at some phone?
Let's go look at some phone.
All right.
See if the ants are out of it.
Yeah, really. Ugh. I don't see any movement.
Any movement.
Nope. Do not see.
Okay. Let's see if we can skin this baby. I don't know if you've ever noticed or not, but I have this amazing ability to suddenly be behind the camera when there's a dirty job to be done.
No, I never noticed that. Not in the least. Not in the least.
Yeah. And because that is like the ultimate and true statements, I'm about to put the camera down so I can help you with that.
It's coming off. It's just, it's going to tear up as it comes off. But,
Oh, that's okay, we're not keeping it.
but it is coming off.
Yeah. All we're after is that piece in the middle.
Just the fluffy stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
Like an Oreo. That's all you do. You get an Oreo, that's all you want. Pick with a cookie. Let me get to the white stuff.
Oreos are nasty anyway.
I love Oreos.
I know. I know.
Talk about my cookie that way.
I tell you what. Why don't we ask the viewers? Okay? Russ, ask your viewers. Team Oreo, Team Yuck.
Hey, Team Oreo, Team Yuck. Comment one or the other below. Okay. If you like Oreos or if you don't. So, Team Oreo, come on, support me. Team Yuck, support her. That didn't come out right. Turn the camera off.
That's getting... that's coming back.
Turn the camera off before I get in trouble here.
Okay.
Ah, you just grabbed the camera again. See there? Right?
I helped you flip it over.
For those of you who weren't watching, because she put the camera down, she put the camera down and walked over to help me just about the time I got it all off. Oh, she did. She grabbed it and pulled that last little bit, worked up a sweat, just and then, yes, you helped me flip it over. Now we're going to do the other side. So where are you? Behind the camera. I love you, wife. I love you so much.
And seriously, if this were a harder project, I would be right in the middle of it, and you know it.
Yeah, you would.
I don't leave you to do hard things by yourself.
No. Easier things, you supervise.
You know what we call this? Content.
All right, the foam is off.
The neighbor is weed eating.
Hearken, I heareth the buzz of a weed eater.
Yeah. The next step is to sanitize this.
Ah.
So I might actually cut it down first so that I don't sanitize what I don't need.
describe your technique.
You use that.
Uh,
Sometimes I use it like a saw. Sometimes I use it like a drag knife. Just depends on the cut. You can see it's not exactly a clean cut.
not bad though.
I'm still not sure this plan's even going to work. Of course, that's true for everything I do.
All right. Well, let's get that up and let it dry.
So I thought you were going inside.
Putting tools away. Can't go inside until I clean up my mess. So where do you stand on your foam now that we got it moved over? You got that piece cut off, and we've got it moved up on our little work area.
I'm going to get the wood out of the back of the Jeep, the platform,
Yeah.
and get it cut up. And then I'm going to use it to figure out what shape I need to cut that piece of foam into. Oh, I'm going to sanitize it first.
The foam.
The foam.
That may take a while.
I got a trick or two up my sleeve.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Well, as far as the starter, I think I explained earlier, get it cleaned up, checked out. Everything looks good. We'll stick 12 volts to it and see what happens. And if it works okay, then I'll see about getting it put back on, which may be more of a job than getting it off was, but we'll find out when we get there. So, it's getting hot. We're going to quit, and that's going to be it for this week. So, be sure and join us again next Sunday for the MT and Me. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Give us a thumbs up, a like, and share on this video. Watch it a few dozen times. Feel free to. Go right ahead. And, oh yeah, buy me a coffee. There's a link below to take care of that and help.
And don't forget Team Oreo or Team Yuck.
That's right. Yeah, let me mention it again. Comment below. Team Oreo or Team Yuck. Show your preference. All right. Till next week, I'm Russ. Ree's behind the camera. And let me start that over again because my mind's blitzing. Wait a minute.
You forgot who I was?
No, I just...
You forgot where we were.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say, and I'm behind the camera. And I'm like, well, no, we didn't rehearse that, did we? I guess I rehearsed that in my mind. We should do that sometime. I'll say, I'm Russ, and you'll go in there, and I'm behind the camera. And I'm not. And so, yeah, okay. Well, like I said, I'm Russ.
I'm behind the camera.
And we'll talk later. I like that pretty good. I like that.
Camera's shaking like crazy because I'm laughing so hard. Stabilizer's gonna love me.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get cool.
Yeah. Oh, you know what would be really good right now?
All right.
Lemonade.
I was thinking bacon and eggs.
I'll never turn down bacon.